There you go. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brian Finale. I want to welcome you all to the Wednesday webinar here at My Lead System Pro. And I knew tonight was going to be special, but I was just informed. I thought it was just going to be special because we have one of our number ones on here tonight. But it kind of goes much deeper than that. It's actually something pretty cool. Something in her life is changing dramatically within the next 2 days or so, and she gets to share it with us. She's going to share it with us tonight, so I'm pretty darn excited about it. And if you don't know what's happening tonight, we've got our number one gal, she is our actually number one gal, period, right now inside of My Lead System Pro, and she's got something very, very cool. There's a reason, guys, most people get started in this business, and not many ever get to achieve the life and the freedom that Diane has been able to do and experience with her gals, and I didn't know it was going to be that tonight. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. Here's the deal, guys. Welcome all the guests and all of the. I'm going to get off on a total tangent, and we don't want to do that tonight. I was about to, and I caught myself. I'm getting better at all that. If you are a guest here tonight, we are not going to go over a 20-minute presentation of My Lead System Pro. If you're a guest, you haven't taken your test drive. Here's the deal. This is not a business opportunity. This is an education platform. It's a training system that is going to teach you how to put in place what Diane has been doing for the better part, about 15 years now, which is attraction marketing. And what does that mean is take a step back. Really all we do is we teach you to step up as a leader. And we don't just talk about it. We're going to give you the templates. We're going to give you the blog. We're going to give you the CRM so you can follow up with prospects. We're going to teach you how to step up, claim a voice, brand you, because I'm sure throughout tonight's webinar you're going to hear that that was a huge part of what Diane did. She just stepped up as a leader, became the voice, and you know, your business opportunity is definitely a big part of your income. It is, and Diane's been in a couple of companies. I've been in a couple of companies, but I'm going to tell you, the guys on stage, the guys you see at your company, you know, speaking, earning the multi-6 and 7 figures, man, they are doing something, and it's called attraction marketing, branding you, whatever you want to call it. And they sell affiliate products. They have their own products. They do some coaching. They certainly have a huge chunk of it being that MLM company. But once you understand what the gals like Diane Hawkman, like Rob Ford, like Ray Higdon, Mark Harbert, April Marie Tucker, all of the top earners you see out there online, man, they're doing something slightly different than what you've probably been told when you got started in your business. And that's what we do. We don't just talk about it. We're going to give you the tools, the systems, the solutions, and in my opinion, most importantly, the community. This community is second to none, and they will help you inside of a private group, inside of about 5 wake-up calls and 4 webinars a week, and it's really all about you building you. And whatever that means to you, if it's traditional business, there's a lot of people who aren't in network marketing and they don't want to build an MLM. That's great. We'll come in, you come in here and we'll teach you how to actually come in and build a brand in whatever niche you're wanting to build and serve a market, a target market that you want to, that makes sense for your products. And man, if you're in network marketing, we'll teach you how to come in and kill it. If you're in affiliate marketing, you want to learn how to drive traffic, create awesome capture pages that convert, it's all in here. It's all in here. And if you are a guest, there's a $10 test drive. It's about a $2-week test drive. And you can come in here and see if we can help you build your business. Bottom line, if we can help you get more leads and help you get some extra cash flow for your business, you can start building the thing the way you were promised when you first got started. And I'm a marketer first, so is Diane. This system was built out of a necessity about 7 or 8 years ago for our specific MLM teams, and it's grown to this generic just environment, culture, community, amazing training platform that man, if you've got some drive, you got some passion, we'll give it to you step by step and give you everything you need. Blog, capture pages, CRM, leaders like Diane to teach you everything we know about getting out of a job and maybe building a family and being able to stay home with them and earn, like you guys saw on the capture pages, on the registration pages, be able to pretty much out-earn doctors, lawyers, CPAs, all that good stuff, doing it from home and doing it with your kids around. And that was what it was about for Miss Hawkman. And cool. So if you're a guest, MLMSP.com. Before I bring her out, this is a pretty cool list. This was the last week, guys. Before we bring out the lady of the hour, some L1s, man. And and I've said this before. I always say it. Even if you have L6 and leader Diane Hawkman, if she had to go through L1, she did. She had hit L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then L6, which is our highest leader level inside the community right now. This is a big step. In my opinion, it's the most important because you get a taste. You get this tiny little taste, like it becomes real. You get this little something inside you. You're like, maybe I could do this full time. Maybe I could earn a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s a month, or maybe tens of thousands of dollars a month. Heck, you're going to meet one tonight, and right here becomes like the belief stage when you could kind of see the future, and then you never turn back. You never turn back. You close the door. You never look behind you, and chances are within 2016. For the leaders I'm about to say who are L1, if you're not already full time in this business, and that is the goal, you have a taste. You have a taste. So congratulations, Andy Louder, L1, Jennifer Ruopinian.
Just call her Roopy Doopy. That's what we call her.
Easy enough. Roopy Doopy. Roxanne Roeder, Ron Deering, Natalia Ashley, Paul Turner, Alonzo Williams. L1. Woo! Hell yeah, guys. Congrats. Congrats. And we got a couple L2s. Emma Kogan, Mary Ellen Duchesne, oh, awesome, awesome. Amy Starr Allen, and Tracy Rose, L2. That was like 10 leaders, guys. That's a big deal. What that means is that you guys are working something, you know, typically, Diane, I've heard the holidays are supposed to be the slowest time of the year. We're not seeing that. Our affiliates aren't. I mean, we're seeing more leader levels break and more commissions being sent out than we've done at pretty much the inception. And kudos to you guys, all the community who is doing it. It's fun, it's inspiring. I love being a part of it. And L1 and L2, man, congratulations. Very, very cool as you roll into 2016. So here we are. Let's bring her out, guys. Grab a pen and paper. This is going to be a very. I'm actually super pumped to see where this goes tonight. Grab a pen and paper. This isn't going to be a marathon tonight. We are going to have some fun with you, but I'm telling you, when this gal speaks, Diane, I did check. You have the most products in her back office, period. You know, hands down. And I believe that there's no one else. You've got 4, actually. 4.
I do? I thought I had 3.
You got Deep Abyss, AMI, Attraction Marketing Intensive. And
great.
Yeah.
But anyway, cool.
Oh, okay. Well, there was a point to me saying that, guys, is that this woman's been doing this for quite some time. While we are gonna have some fun tonight, she is one of the best teachers in the space. We're honored and humbled that she hangs her hat here, and you are gonna get a ton of value. And grab a pen and paper, take some notes. And this gal, she is an L6 leader inside of MLSP, which is there's 3 of them, and we've had some of the biggest rock stars come through, go off and do their own thing, come back, leave, stay. Some are still here. That's a big thing for us. L6, she got a cool award that I hope never reaches the public's eye. Maybe it will at some point.
Andy, I could bring it out if you wanted.
No, we're good. We'll leave it at that. And what's cool is that actually just 2 weeks ago we had another affiliate contest. She crushed that, and she got first place in 2 back-to-back, another $10,000 bonus to a stay-at-home mom, which is pretty awesome. And I think she won our last one, which was like a year or 2 ago, for another 10 grand. She can pretty much take any contest at will, and she can pretty much become one of the top couple, if not the #1 earner in any MLM she wants to play in. So you're in the right place at the right time and about to learn from a leader who is not just talking it, she's walking it and has been for about 15 or 16 years. So definitely turn off the cell phone, grab a pen and paper, and get ready, man. This is gonna be. I'm gonna be. I think I should grab some popcorn, Diane. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I'm excited, man. So without further ado, let's bring her out, guys. You're here for some training, and you're here for the Rockstar L6 leader, Miss Diane Hochman. Wednesday is yours, my dear.
Thank you so much, Bri. And it's a big night, and I'm going to explain to you guys why in a minute. But before we do, I want to thank Brian and the whole team at MLSP. We're just rounding out another very big year. I mean, with sites having come out and Funnelizer, it's been the biggest year in our history. We just had our 3rd L6, Ray Higdon, which I'm sure we're going to hoot and holler about on a night real soon. It's been a big year. People moving up, the tools, what we're making available to people, the direction that we're moving in is something that I just so believe in. I've lived it. I've breathed it. I'm going to share some about it tonight. And what we're doing here, I saw people, as they were coming through asking, well, is it good for this kind of person? Is it good for that kind of person? And I hate to sound like my old MLM coaches, but it's good for everybody. Anybody who has a business, there are tools here that they must have, and there are skills here that they must learn. And as we transition out of only being just for, originally it was for network marketers, moving into a plane where anybody that owns any type of home or small business, I'm real excited to see what 2016 brings, and I'm excited for all of you guys, especially our new L1 and L2s. It's a big deal. And How do you know? First of all, my favorite thing in the world to do is make Brian Finale nervous because he doesn't know what I'm going to do tonight, and he didn't know, and he's going to. But it always works out okay, doesn't it, Brian?
It hasn't failed before, ever.
Never have done anything too crazy, or at least when you think I'm doing something crazy, it comes back around full circle. I close the open loop, and it all turns out all right. And also, you know, it's a big deal when I made PowerPoints. Doesn't go on very often. So, guys, I'm going to throw up the PowerPoints, and for the sake of those of you that I don't know well, or maybe some of you that haven't heard it, I'm going to share my story a little bit, and then I'm going to tell you about what's happening in my life this week. I just got back from a cruise, which Brian knows. I was out on a ship writing a book, which is quite coming along. We'll be seeing that in 2016. Just got back from Vegas over the weekend, so I was home for like 3 or 4 days, turned around and went to Vegas. I'll be home for a little bit now, then I head down to New Orleans. So when you talk about living the life, I am living the life. Everything that they told me when I signed up back in the day is true. So let me throw up the slides and put on screen share. And Brian's going to help me and make sure that, whoops, let me go up to the top. Actually, we'll just start this.
This may be the first webinar with slides in about.
No, I've done them before. I just, you know, I often don't like to do slides because I feel like I'm one of those off-the-cuff people. I'm like a Gary Vaynerchuk. I just talk. Other people, they're really better with slides. I'm generally worse with slides, but I thought today was important enough. And I also thought that there were a couple pictures I wanted you guys to see. So, Brian, you guys can see the slides and everything?
Yeah, look great.
Okay,
yep.
You'll give me a shout if there's a problem. I also have my phone handy, so Bert or anybody else. And Bert, thank you very much. He sent me a love note before. Bert Bledsoe, Incredible L5 here. Thank you. If anything's wrong, somebody shoot me a text. Because I usually never stay on this side of the fence by myself without somebody watching me. So, guys, here we go. And today is, what, December 16th, 2015. In 1999, I had left my full-time job. I worked at a college. I was a student activities director, the person that planned all the parties and worked with student leadership and took them to Washington, D.C. to lobby and took them to all these different things and helped them, student government director, basically. And when I was pregnant with my second daughter, I left my job. Now, by the way, it's not too late, guys, real quick to go grab a couple people. If you know anybody that has kids, wants to have kids, wants to be home, potentially has an elderly loved one that they know is going to need care, they don't want to put them in a home or something. Larry and I are in that situation as well. At some point, that's going to be going on in our lives. You know, all of our parents at some point, you know, that's going to be there. I want to be there for them. Anybody that you know that needs to find a way, it's not too late to go grab them real quick to hear this. Will it be recorded? Probably. Will we replay it? I don't know. It may not be appropriate. I may start crying during this thing. And I'm not kidding, and I'm not fooling around. I'm really serious with you guys tonight. So if you have somebody that you think should see this, go grab them real quick to make sure that they catch it. So 99, I had to find a way. These are my two little peanuts, and I grabbed a picture that was about how old they were, but I think this is older. They were 3 and 6. This might be 4 and 7. I don't know. Them in their little cow costumes with, I think, the Dracula teeth with the cow costume really makes it. I didn't want to go back to work, but the problem was that I had basically kept spending like I still had a job, and we had an inordinate amount of credit card debt. I thought, you know, I'd figured things out by then, and I hadn't. And so it was basically figure it out now or go back to work. And going back to work made me sick to my stomach. Now, am I saying that every mom should stay home with their kids? No, I'm not, because it's not for everybody. I just knew that I went to college, I did all this, I had a great job, but still when I left them in the morning, it made me sick. I had to find a way. You know, I was crying and shaking in the car, the whole thing. So I started a home business, and some of you guys might know, just based upon that little button right there, what company I was with. I started in the fall of 99, October 99, 16 years ago, and you know, it was a great foundation. I did everything I was supposed to do. I pestered my friends and family. I had the home parties. I prospected at the mall. I dialed leads. You know, I plastered my city with flyers. I did everything I was supposed to do. I hung signs on electricity poles, on the power poles. I did everything I was supposed to do. By the way, if any of you are looking for marketing training and you're thinking, well, this is great, but give me the good stuff. The good stuff is coming. But I have to give you the foundation. You need to understand what I went through to understand the revelation I had, so I can show you what my 7 hacks are. I can show you my 7 tips. I can show you my 7 things that made this miracle come true for me, to be able to be home. So I did all the stuff that I was told to do in a traditional network marketing environment. In fact, and I just showed you the button. I wore the button. I walked around wearing a button, and I did everything they told me to do. As Burt Bledsoe would say, I followed the directions. It's his favorite training line, and he's right. They gave me a manual. I read it. I did what it said. I followed the directions. And quite frankly, I had some success. I made over $1,400 in the first, couple of months. I made $400 the first home party. I actually made some money. And I did it exactly the way they told me to do. I didn't have time to second guess them. I didn't have time to argue with them. I didn't have time to feel bad or worry about what people would think of me. I was broke. I was going to have to go to work. One of my greatest blessings was I had no choice. So we had some success. And you know what? During those years at that company, we had some very special experiences. I won my first trips. I won a trip to Paris. I won a trip to Jamaica. We went on a cruise. But I dare say that the most valuable and special experience that we had as a family was that we got to spend a lot of time with this man, who some of you may recognize as world-famous business philosopher Jim Rohn, who passed away a couple of years ago this December, December. So there's the girls with Jim, and I have many pictures with Jim. I was lucky enough to actually go on vacation, with him, and he came with all of us. I was lucky enough to hear him preach on a Sunday. And I spent many an hour around a bottle of wine or a dinner table or a beach chair listening to Jim one-on-one. So am I thankful for the time that I had in traditional network marketing? 100%. If you're in traditional network marketing, the biggest advice I can give to you is, go through the process of learning the basic fundamentals. Do I want you to do them forever? Probably not, because times have changed, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But did that foundation make me strong and equip me? It sure did, because there's nobody that can ding me, nobody that can knock me. I'm like a rock. I can pick and choose products that I want to represent, and quite frankly, Brian just said I just won 10 grand again, doing another launch. And people ask me, what was my secret? How did I do it? Why did I win? Not 1 but 2 contests in a row. And the answer was because I'm like a rock. I had the most belief in what we were doing. I didn't run the most ads. I didn't really run any ads. I didn't, pick up the phone and call a lot of people. It's just that everybody that was around me knew. And I got that from this place, being a rock and studying some people that you couldn't shake them. Then what happened is 2005 came. We were doing pretty good. We were making a couple grand, okay? A couple grand, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, up and down, it would go up. I think it went as high as 8,000, 9,000, which is pretty darn good. It was more than I was making. And then it would drop down, it would go up. But 2005 came. And social media was born. Now, it was technically born a little earlier, but it just started to hit mainstream in 2005. Now, this was a big shift because the people I was working with were still doing, go to the mall, ask people if I could show you a way, do you have 20 minutes to take a look type of thing. And for me with 2 little kids, that was impossible. My upline team worked by meetings. They were 3 hours away. I couldn't go on a Tuesday or a Thursday to go to a meeting because it took me 3 hours to get there and 3 hours to get back. As it was, I was going to Saturday meetings, and I would get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be on the road at 4 to be there in time for a leadership meeting. I was that committed, I was that dedicated, and sometimes I did it in multiple cities during the month. I'd go to Boston, New York, and Philly, which is insane. But when social media came out, I knew in that moment that something was going to change, and I knew it was my time. Guys, I don't know if you've ever felt this before, but I don't know whether when Sites came out, for those of you that are members, I know there's some of you that knew this was your window. Sites is our blogging platform, by the way, if you're a guest and you don't know. It's absolutely incredible. You 3 clicks and your blog is up, you know, and then you put it together and you customize it the way you want. But, you know, I just knew that this was my window. This was my time. And I knew that it was new and the field was open. One of my biggest secrets is find a field that's open that you can run right down and make a touchdown without getting blocked. I started a blog. Yes, I showed people today my blog from 2006, by the way. For people that don't believe it, I showed my team today. We went back on the Wayback Machine and we looked up all the archives of my blog. I started a blog around 2005, 2006. I got into video marketing. This was when not a lot of people were doing it. You know, I was one of the original video queens. I'd put up a video, go to bed, wake up, and there'd be 2,000 views the next day. Not so easy to do anymore. And I had a podcast before podcasts were cool. In fact, I had a podcast before they were called podcasts. There were syndication places, but it wasn't called what it is because, you know, iTunes hadn't come out and all this other stuff. Guys, what I did is what we teach here at My Lead System Pro. I built a brand, and most importantly, I built a list. I created a following that knew me, liked me, trusted me, and listened to me. And this happened between 2005 and probably 2006. Took about a year to really get it cranking. By 2007, 2008, I was being invited to speak on stages all over the country and eventually all over the world. In fact, Brian and I and a couple others went up to Scotland. We were there as recently in Hong Kong. I'm going back there in March to do an event, heading out to Portland. So my life changed, and I'm going to give you my tips in a minute on how to make that happen for you. But it really was, you know, it's Christmas time, guys, you know, and we talk about miracles. It was my home business miracle. I went from being this frustrated, broke, you know, scared of her own shadow woman to a celebrity in my marketplace, and it was absolutely incredible. So the rest is history. I'm here today. You know, I've been lucky enough. I'm an L6 leader here at My Lead System Pro. I speak and I train. I have products, tools, training. You know, Brian mentioned I have the most products in the library. I'll tell you about one of them a little later, which is exciting. Only 2 of them are for sale right now. One of them is a little mastermind, which is just a $25 product. Another one is my Attraction Marketing Intensive course, which is a very comprehensive marketing course. And then the last one is a course called the Guru Code that I put together, which is really all about the thought processes of top marketers and gurus. It is not available for sale right now. We're looking at opening that up potentially again in 2016. We will see, but it is closed. It's in the Disney vault, not to come out. Those of you that have it, you know exactly how valuable it is. So my dreams had come true, and we really were living the dream. I was home. The girls were growing. Things were good. By the way, at the end of the call, at the end of the webinar, you can tell I'm old. I say call because that's what we used to have. I will take some questions, particularly interested in questions from moms and dads, people who have a loved one that they need to take care of, et cetera, et cetera. Do I want to take marketing, like, you know, how to do this and how to do that questions tonight? Not so much, because we have an incredible mastermind group right here at My Lead System Pro on Facebook, and all those questions are answered pretty much 24 hours a day. What I want you guys to do is pick my brain about how did I figure this out. I want you to pick my brain about the thought processes. I want you to pick my brain about what you need to do to change in order to become someone that is able to do this type of stuff. My mentor always used to say to me, the big question is, who do I need to be in order to blank? That's the type of question that you want to ask a teacher. Who do I need to be? See, y'all are thinking in terms of what do I need to do. You want to think of who do I need to be. So we got to this point where things were good. I was making quite a bit of money, well over 6 figures, multiple 6 figures at this point. And it was neat because I was making as much money as a doctor or a lawyer. I was traveling and doing all these cool things. these are the girls, my daughters, I showed you before, and these are them a little older. They'll kill me for showing these pictures. The one on the left is Sarah, and the one on the right is Jillian. Many of you know Jillian because she pops onto webinars and such. Most of you don't know Sarah because she doesn't want to come out at all. She's my songbird, and Jillian is my socialite, and that's the two of them. You know, and over the years, we had a lot of fun. This is them out at VidCon. I don't know if you guys know what VidCon is, but it's like Comic-Con, but for YouTube personalities, and they wanted to go. I surprised Sarah for her 16th birthday and got them tickets and plane tickets, and she found out from one of her favorite YouTube personalities, announced from stage that she was going, so it was kind of like you know, that big moment where she got that super surprise. We got to travel. This is Sarah and I on a cruise. Jillian and I have been on many cruises. The whole family's gone on all kinds of incredible trips. We've gone all over. We saw shows. A lot of you guys know I hang out at a place here called Happy Land, which is not its real name. I don't want y'all coming down there unless you're invited, but there's Jillian sitting a couple of feet in front of Billy Joel, front row center. We've seen pretty much every act out there. Barbara Streisand, you know, anybody and anybody you can think of. Aretha's coming up in a couple weeks. We've seen them all, so it's been neat. Caught some games. This is Larry and Jillian on the way on the train to go to the World Series just recently. Larry's been a big Mets fan for years, and when I knew they were going, we got them tickets. They had great seats, incredible times. So all in all, we had a ball. And it's been a magical 16 years. And I've really been home with them, you know, since Sarah was born. So 19 years. It's been a magical 19 years. One by one, they graduated. There's Sarah. There's Jill. And a few months ago, Sarah left for Australia. Some of you guys who hang out with me know it's been rough. She left. I dropped her off at Newark Airport, went and had dinner with Larry, slept and got up in the morning and came out to live the dream, to be with all of you. I had to give myself a buffer day. We went into New York. I had to give myself a buffer day because I didn't want to come in to live the dream, to speak and be with everybody. That's our annual event, by the way, for those of you that don't know. I didn't want to come in and be too emotional. What I found out was that the anticipation of her getting on the plane was worse than her getting on the plane, because when I said goodbye, I knew she'd be fine. I knew I had equipped her. I knew I had given her all the tools she needs, and she's thriving in Australia, trying to figure out how to stay long term. She's in love and you know, doing all kinds of stuff over there. So whether or not she'll make it home, I don't know, but I really do not anticipate her ever living with us again, because she's a grown woman now. She's off and doing her thing. And shortly, and I do mean very shortly, my other daughter moves to New York. She just got her first professional position in the city, working with a big real estate firm that's partnered with Google, because remember, Google's not just your search engine anymore. It's in everything. It's in biomedical engineering, real estate, everything under the sun. So she's going to be working at the Google facility in New York. And come Monday, which is the title of this webinar, come Monday, Larry and I are officially empty nesters. I'm going to escape out of this for a minute and come back to the webinar room because I want you guys to see me. You know, for me, my whole why, they always tell you to find your why. They always tell you, you know, find it, because when you find it, everything becomes simple. And it's never about the what to do. It's about the why. Well, this week is the week that my whole narrative and everything I've rotated my business about, and all the reasons and all my stories and all my shtick, you know, because everybody has an angle when they're marketing. Let's be clear. My shtick, I got to go do this, or I'm off on this with the kids, or this and that. Come Monday, it's over. And I felt it was really important to get together with you guys tonight, and Brian was kind enough to invite me and let me come out and have the platform because I have to say to each and every one of you, and yes, the marketing hacks are coming. They're coming. Marketing and mindset stuff. I have to say to each and every one of you, having done it, having lived it, having struggled through it, cried through it, worked through it, all the things that you're probably feeling right now, depending on where you are in your journey, you just can't not do it. I can't tell you how valuable, how worthwhile, how happy I am that I figured it out. And guys, when I started, I didn't have My Lead System Pro. I didn't have the funnelizer. I didn't have the CRM. I didn't have sites. I had to figure it out by myself, all alone, without a crew. I was one of the first people using YouTube. The reason why everybody called me is because they wanted to know what I was doing, because nobody else knew what YouTube was. Serious. So somebody wrote, I just saw in the chat, find another why. Guys, I have much bigger why. I have many things, and this does not end my motherhood. Okay, this does not end. I have so much more, and people are saying wait till grandkids. I think they're pretty far off, but you never know, you never know what life brings. It's not that I don't have things to do now. Believe me, I have things to do. One of the reasons people always say, Diane, why don't you have an affiliate program? Because I was busy. Diane, why didn't you do this? Because I was busy. Diane, why didn't you travel more earlier? I travel a lot now because they were bigger. Why didn't you travel up? Because I was busy. Because I was doing my life's work. And this industry, this profession, allowed me to do what I felt I was supposed to do. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something right now, and then we're going to go through these hacks, and then we'll take some questions, and we'll wrap it up for the night. But I got to tell you, I promise you, there's 600 some odd people here tonight, which is actually a small webinar for My Lead System Pro. We didn't put out that we were doing something sexy, some secret trick tonight. So maybe some people, figured, oh, I'm going to take tonight off, and that's fine, because who's here is who is meant to be here. But I promise you right now, you would not be here tonight if you weren't called to something bigger than what you're doing. You would not be here. You would not be listening to this. You would have not shown up. You would not be building your blog. You would not be working on building your list. You would not be working on any of this if there wasn't something you're supposed to be doing. Brian, just nod your head when I say this if you agree. If you don't. But Brian, did you know that you were called to something else when all of this started for you? Did you know in your heart and your gut that you were supposed to do something? You didn't know what it was. He didn't know what MLSP was. He sat down at a bar one night, talked with a guy, listened to some piano music. One of them said, I know a programmer. One of them said this. One of them said that. We read this book. We could do it for our team. No, wait, let's do it for people in general. Let's change the world. They didn't expect that. I didn't expect when I dropped. I thought, no problem. I have a job. My mom sent me to college. I'm going to be a professional woman. I didn't know that when I had a baby that I was going to be sick leaving her. I didn't know. All of you, you're hanging around because something is eating at you. It's something you have to do. It's the end of the year. Are you going to wait any longer? It's the end of the year. 2015 is over. I remember when it was 1999, right? I started in 1999. I remember being at my in-laws on New Year's Eve because everybody had to get together that year because it was 1999. We had to party like Prince said. And we were with our families and hugging one another. We didn't know whether the world was going to shut down the next day with the computers and stuff. It's freaking 2015 and my kids are leaving me in a great way. Come Monday, I have a new purpose. Come Monday, I have a new role. I may need some time to figure it all out. That's why I'm writing a book. But what I know is that tonight I need to lay this down for you. Because if you're hesitating, if you're procrastinating, if you're using excuses, if you're rotating around the drama in your life and you're not doing what you were born to do, you will regret it. I can sit here tonight and tell you on this occasion, and I think we might have a guest coming out in a minute, I can sit here and tell you on this occasion, it was worth it. So let's get into the hacks. What do you guys think? You want to get into some mindsets, thought processes, shortcuts, things that are going to make a difference for you. Now, Jillian, do you want to come and say hello to the crowd so they can see you before you leave us? Maybe you'll do some live telecast from NYC. We'll pull up a chair. Anyone? No, we didn't organize ourselves before, but I want you guys to meet my daughter Jill, who we just got back from Vegas because we wanted to have a last weekend. And she's putting on some Christmas attire. Come on, everybody's waiting. We're running out of time. Let's go. The clock is ticking. Jill, before I do my hacks, oh, stop being so silly. You can tell she's my child. Before I do my hacks, there's moms on the line.
Hi,
there's
Mom.
people with, there's dads on the line.
Hi, Dad.
There's people with, parents they need to care for. There's people that are musicians like your sister. There's people that are writers, and they're all looking for ways to build income so that they can do what they were supposed to do. Do you have any words? Do you want to share anything about your experience? Do you want to tell the moms that they're not messing their kids up when they're busy on the phone or on the webinar? Your kid right now that thinks that you think you're messing them up because they want you and you're learning something tonight, you're not messing them up.
Take them to Vegas.
Take them to Vegas, I love it. Do you have any quick words of wisdom or anything to say to people as you depart? And you can tell them funny stuff about all the crazy nights and things and mommy being too loud in the other room and everything, or you can tell them serious stuff. What are your thoughts?
Oh, wow. Well,
Just speak up.
We've been doing this for a while. I was 6 when my mom started. I'm older than that now. And it's just, it's a different lifestyle, but it's well worth it. Whether you want to be the mom that goes on all the school field trips, all my friends loved her, and she was the cool mom. To this day, she's still the cool mom, because she got to come on all the field trips, and she volunteered in the classroom. You can also be the dad that stays at home. We need more stay-at-home dads. Very important. Be a stay-at-home dad. It's just about having freedom of doing what you want when you want to do it. I've gone on some amazing vacations with the family. I've been to business meetings. I was going to business meetings when I was 9. I was sitting in the back. They thought I was drawing pictures. I was taking notes.
They took her one day and put her on. Back then we didn't have like email and all the stuff that we have today. Like we have our email circulation. We send out a blog post or something. They have this thing called touch phone where we could send messages to one another. They interviewed her about her notes from the meeting.
Wow.
She was 9 years old.
Remember what your notes were? Do you remember it?
There was a penny in the profit.
Pennies in the sale.
Yeah, penny in the sale.
And a fortune in the follow-up.
Yeah.
And she's going to be teaching the adults.
With my gel pen and my Lisa Frank notebook.
What?
That was 9 years. It was a long time ago.
She also used to speak at my events. She'd come out and train all the adults on YouTube and how to be natural on video.
Yes, I would.
Wow, power little thing. I didn't know you were in there in the meeting room at 9 a.m. or 9 years old taking notes. That's pretty impressive. Wow. Oh yeah.
I'm a pro. She has her 16 years in the industry, but so do I.
Before I go to the hacks, just real quick, tell everybody how you use some of the things you learned to get your job and get your interviews and all that you've been doing.
It's networking. It's all about knowing what people want and showing them how to get it. So you have to, when you're learning all of this stuff, it's just life skills. It's not just your business being a more confident person. It's being comfortable with yourself and knowing what you have to offer, and not being afraid to offer it to the world. You have a lot of power and you have a lot of ability to show what you've got. You just have to take that chance, which is what I've been learning ever since I was little, and I hope everyone gets a chance to learn.
That's it. She went into each interview and she had done some research, just like we research our prospect and we create an avatar and we find out what they want so we can create posts and content that appeals to our prospect. If we write a post about something that the prospect doesn't care about, little Sean, by the way, Sean Johnson just went by, and I've known Sean for 100 years, and little Sean, his son, he's grown up. I remember when he was born. Little Sean's going to be a rock star in whatever he does. But she basically used all the customer avatar stuff to go after and target these different positions. She walked in knowing about them, knowing what their goals and outcomes were for the future, etc. So they were always, kind of like, whoa, where did this kid come from? because she was able to speak to their outcomes. And that's what we do, guys. This webinar tonight is not about me telling you that my kid grew up and I'm like freaking out. Okay?
That happens to everyone.
Webinar is not about telling you my kid grew up and I'm freaking out. The webinar is about talking to you about what you want and your legacy and what you could build, and how through some of the tricks I'm about to show you, as well as the tools and products here at My Lead System Pro, there's never been a time like now. There's never, go talk to Rob, Ford, Ray, any of the old timers, and I'm the oldest timer. We didn't have any of this. We didn't have the support like we have here. The idea that you can ask questions and a bunch of people are going to answer it, and the idea that you can get stuck and there's people to help you out, we didn't have it. We stayed up late at night. Rob had like 22 computers late in the middle of the night trying to figure it out. I know Rob from back in the day. We used to be on the same conference calls, you know. And what happens is you just all get to know each other. And the people that decide go the distance. So I think I'm going to give them some tricks and some stuff. I'm going to put up the slides. It's been great. Thank you very much. I'll give you that $100 later. Get out of here. You just have to get to Vegas. I'm kidding.
Congratulations. I mean, can I just acknowledge her? I mean, 19 years old. I didn't even freaking know.
She's 20. This one's 22.
Okay, 20. Okay, so 22. I mean, you sound like you're, knowledgeable beyond your years. This is why I love this space. I mean, my goodness, powerhouse mom, bringing up this amazing, beautiful, powerful, strong. Most women your age don't talk like that. They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. Like, it's just.
Went to school with them all.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you probably had a hard time keeping, friends at your age. It's just, it's cool, man. The money's great, but this is what
we're talking about, because that's what I want you guys to understand. The money's awesome. I'll show you the money in a little bit. You want to see the money? I'll show you the money. You know, that turns you on. If you need to see the money, I'll show it to you, and I'll talk about what we're doing here, and what's possible for you through your different revenue streams, and we're going to go over all that. But that's not what it's about.
It's lifestyle.
You know, if I have to attract you with showing you the money, I'll do it all day long. I'll show a little leg. I'll show you what you do. No, that's an expression. I remember when I taught Bob Clark that expression. The poor guy blushed for me. But that's fine. And you know what? I came into the industry because I needed money, and they showed me money. I went to a meeting. Some lady went, I make $15,000 a month. I was like, damn, I'm getting rich. It was her and her personality, her kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing thing that made me go, if she can do it, I can do it. But that's not what it was ever about, because the money just got us out of debt. The money just let us go out to dinner once in a while. The money let us go on a trip. The money let us do things in the house. The money let us, put money away, pay for her college cash.
Yep, no debt.
Yep, no debt. Loans. She's going into the world with a car. She owns a car, no debt. She has the money for her security and everything else for her apartment. She's ready to go. And that's what it's about. Greg says he's a leg man. So let's get into these hacks, which I'm going to go through really quick, and then we'll see if we have time for some questions and stuff like that. And those of you that are guests, I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing here. I also want to talk to you about what's going on tomorrow. That which comes but once a month is going on tomorrow, which we'll talk about. Yes. I'm going to throw up some slides, honey. I love you. Thank you. And congratulations. And I'm very proud of you. And I will be freaking out over the weekend.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Congratulations. Very cool. Very, very cool. That's inspiring. That really is, man. That's a powerful human being right there. And this whole work of personal growth in this industry with a comp plan is just, it's right there. That's exactly. She's gonna change, be a huge force, and it's because of what she was around for 22 years. Well, 16 years, I guess.
Yeah, Brian. How I see it. Many of our parents or grandparents came to this country to make a better life for us. They came here, they scrimped, they lived in tenements, they dug ditches, whatever they had to do. Most of them were uneducated people coming from another place, doing what they had to do to give the next generation a leg up. Yeah, that's right. Well, in 2015, or ever since, when my kids were born in the 90s, you couldn't do it the same way because the economy impacted things. It wasn't like the 50s where, the war had ended and your parents could work hard, 50s and 60s, and they could work hard and they could buy a little house, out in the suburbs with a little lawn and this and that, and they could save and scrimp to send you to college so that you could have a better life. Now we send kids to college for indentured servitude and debt and shackles and not having any direction and not having options. So our path here in this industry is different because we're teaching kids how to think, we're teaching kids how to be, and we're teaching adults how to do it too, because for many of us, we grew up as employees from employee backgrounds and learning entrepreneurial thoughts. Whether she stays in the workforce, she used those entrepreneurial thoughts to go where she wants to go, or whether she decides she wants to be home at a later date or anything else, she has all the options in the world. And not many 22-year-olds have it.
Yep.
And I'm not saying, oh, I'm so great. I was taught it in this industry. And I want you to know, my parents didn't want me to be in this industry. I left a state job with benefits. They were freaked out and scared. It's a different economy. It's a different world. It is your time to take charge. Those of you that have kids coming. Those of you that have grandkids, you can help those guys. Don't think it's too late, or any of that type of stuff. And again, this population in this country and around the world, it's no different anywhere. The baby boomers are aging. Your loved ones are going to need you soon. And you're going to have a choice between your boss yelling at you or being there when your mom needs you. Which one do you want to have to do? Because I know people dying inside because they can't be with the people they love in their last days, and that sickens me. And that's something that we lost in these generations, and it's something that we need to come back to. But with a different spin, because especially for women, guys, this is empowering. This is not, in the past, women didn't have choice, and that's how the family was taken care of. Now we have all the choices in the world. Dads too. But anyway, let's get these hacks that people are waiting for. I ran longer than I intended to, but I think it's worth it.
That was awesome.
Really think it's worth it for people to see what the work is. So anyway, can you see, Brian? What's up?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get the slideshow. Current slide. So I'm going to go over 7 mindsets and hacks that will help you live your dream. Many of them were passed on to me by my mentors. So these are not my lines. Please do not quote me. One of them I think is mine. Okay. Please, I always feel bad when people quote me when I'm using someone else's line. Some of the people do not want me to give the names out. So these are mentorship lines, ideas, concepts. Some of them, guys, are biblical. I don't mean we're talking about the Bible tonight, but some of them are as old as, time. They're not, marketing tricks, but what they are is mindset and thought processes surrounding your business and your marketing that will make a real difference for you. So let's get into it. The first one was given to me by one of my biggest mentors, and he always said, you don't got to get it right, you just got to get it going. Okay, and I'm watching now as many people are working on their sites and this and that. They're trying to perfect everything. You don't have to get it right. You have to get it going. You just got to get it going. And the reason why is simple. The learning is in the doing. My line that I made up that I always love to say is, I can't teach you how to swim if you won't get in the pool. You don't have to talk to the prospect perfectly the first time, second time, third time, 10th time. The way you get smooth, how do you get to be like Ray Higdon? How do you get to be like Burt Bledsoe? How do you get to be like, Mark Harbert and so on and so forth? How do you get confident like that? You don't got to get it right. You just got to get it going. How do you have a site that's beautiful? Well, I showed everybody today from 2006, I had the ugliest sites in the world. I wish I had pictures tonight to show you. I had the worst capture page in the history of the internet. No, that's probably not true. There was a lot of bad ones. I had the worst blog in the history of the internet. My blog today, my regular blog, not my site's blog, is still pretty darn ugly. Guess what? It's made me a lot of money. You don't got to get it right. You just got to get it going. And the way you get good is by doing. So if you're hesitating, if you haven't published your blog, if you haven't sat down at the funnelizer and learned it so you can put up a capture page, if you haven't gone into your CRM and called a lead that you generated, you don't got to get it right, and you're going to screw up. It's cool. You also screwed up when you were a baby learning to walk. You also screwed up when you were learning to ride a bike. Many of you screwed up when you first drove a car. You didn't tell your mom and dad, but you screwed up, and you know you did. I ran into a railing and swore to them that somebody sideswiped my car. I ran into a railing. I screwed up. I haven't had a ticket in ever because nobody caught me that day. So, you don't got to get it right. You just got to get it going. Here's the next one. If you would only do what you know how to do, you would get what you want to get. Bert, I snazzed it up. I gave Bert this line, changed his life. It was given to me, changed my life. Guys, stop worrying about what you don't know how to do yet. Stop worrying about what you don't know how to do yet. Do what you know how to do. If all you know how to do is post in Facebook groups, and all you know how to do is spam in Facebook groups, and it's not spam if the group allows it. Guys, I started my business littering bathrooms. You couldn't sit on a potty in the state of Connecticut and not see my flyer. And I'm dead serious. And I still have people to this day laugh about it, people who know me all those years, because that's how they met me. They sat down on a toilet, and there I was. So I'm pretty gosh darn proud of what I've done by littering bathrooms and hanging signs on poles, because that's all I knew how to do. There's only two things that will happen when you do this. When you do what you already know how to do, the other thing will happen. One is you're going to get really good at the thing you're doing. For example, prospecting or calling leads or something. Look at Todd Falcone, who's been a guest trainer here. He's an expert. He's a master prospector. He can call anyone with confidence with no problem. How did Todd get good? He called a lot of people. And he just figured out how to do it well, and he got good. Or the other option, somebody like me who couldn't stand calling leads and hated it and felt like I was bothering them, I called leads because they said that's what you needed to do. And what happened was I got so frustrated and hated it so much, I figured out how to do something else. So when you start where you are, when you get out of just listening and learning mode and you do, you're either going to get good or you're going to figure out another way. Your brain won't tolerate anything else. When you sit on the bench and watch, well, that's another story. Everything you want sits in the relationships you make. Everything you want sits in the relationships you make. I could give you proof of this all day. We've had many webinars where we've talked about it. We always talk about the power of events and why you have to come, etc. I am here today because somebody who I had a relationship introduced me to something. He's long gone. I went to a meeting. I fell in love with an industry. I am here today because a guy called me up and insisted, a guy that I had a relationship with, insisted that I do a vlog, which is video marketing, back when it was new. He called me. He begged me over and over and over and over and over, tapped me on the shoulder. I figured, well, that had to be God talking to me because he wouldn't let it go. Told me I had to do a vlog. I did a vlog. It changed my life. I am here today because I learned about something called attraction marketing, and I started doing it, and it was really working, and people wanted me to talk and teach about it, and then I ended up connecting with the leaders in the attraction marketing space. Everything you want has to do with the relationships you make and not the people you pitch. Please do not misunderstand this. I met a guy whose course I had taken. He taught me all this stuff. He was my mentor. He changed my life. It was the relationship I made. He introduced me to other people who introduced me to other people. Eric Worre became a friend of mine back when we were all starting these video things. A lot of you guys know who Eric Worre is. Eric Worre invited me to one of his events as a guest. While I was there, I met a woman named Lisa Grossman. She's the dearest friend and mentor to me now. Lisa Grossman changed my life. I met her because I met Eric. I had a relationship with Eric. He invited me to an event. Everything you want sits in the relationships you make. So here's the corollary, the caveat to that. Shouldn't you start making as many relationships as you can get? If you make as many relationships as you get, if you meet as many people as you can, without an agenda, trying to get them, trying to sell them, trying to slick them, trying to convince them. If you just meet people and make relationships and find out about them, what happens is magic occurs. Miracles happen, I promise you. Next one. Act as if and go as though. You need to start behaving today as if you are where you want to be and go as though it is done. Okay, this is kind of biblical. It was said to me by my mentor, but I'm pretty sure it came out of something somewhere. Go look it up. Maybe you'll find it. Not my line. Act as if and go as though. Are you behaving today like, I remember a couple years ago at Live the Dream, I told everyone when I spoke, I opened the event, and I anointed everyone an L5 leader, which is a high rank here and a good money rank here at MLSP. I anointed everybody. I said for the whole weekend, you are L5. I give you the rank. You have it. Everybody struggled to behave like they were. One of the biggest secrets, the day I met Brian Finale, I sent him a snotty letter, and I said, here's why you need me. put me on your stage.
True story, true story. And I was so the event was 4 months later, and then she was just getting started, and I knew who she was. But that's exactly what happened. I was like, who is this gal? And here we are, dear friends. She's been on stage ever since.
I need to find that letter. I know I have it, as opposed to you and Jim forging my pitching people. The only person I ever pitched was Brian Finale and Norbert. I sent them a psychotic letter, and I told them why their demographics required me.
There needs to be another woman, yeah, your age and what you bring to the table. I was like, she's got it. We talked the next day, and she was in the lineup.
But the magic was that I said to him, "Give me a number that needs to get done," and I walked the walk. See, I started putting people in. I did the do. I didn't just go, "You need me," and then sit on the couch. So if you start acting today, and guys, this is very important with your content and your blogs, etc. Write like you're leading. Okay, write like you have a clue. Okay, and it's okay to not write about the things you don't have a clue about. There's a million things I do not have a clue about. Believe me. Okay, it's like a joke in the industry. I don't have a clue about all this stuff. I keep winning the contest. I keep making the money. How does she do it? Because I have these philosophies backing me up. So act as if and go as though. And I'll give you another hack in a minute that goes along with this. Here it is. Follow those that walked before you, and lead those that walk behind. It's very important that you do both. You have to follow those that walked before you. Listen, train, coach, get mentored. Those that walked before you that have, knowledge and wisdom and experience. But you then must turn around and lead all of those that come behind you. All of the people that come behind. Every single day, I wish I had numbers about how many people come into this profession every day looking for a way. That was me. I was looking for a way. Wasn't that you, all of you, looking for a way? Brian was down at the bank trying to convince the banker to give him a loan and be in his high ticket program back in the day. He was looking for a way. When he exhausted everything else, he was down trying to get someone else to give him a way. People are walking into this industry looking for a way. You must be the one that leads them. That's how you make money. So act as if and go as though. And then be a good student. You must be a good student to become a good leader. You must be a good follower to become a good leader, right? So you have to follow and lead at the same time. And a lot of people have a problem with that because a lot of people come in and they just want to follow. They don't want to lead. And then there's other people that come in, they're all cocky, they think they know it all, and they don't want to follow. You got to do both. Got to do both. If somebody tries to lead and they don't follow, they're going to wipe out in the industry. If somebody tries to follow and they don't lead, they're going to wipe out in the industry. It's like a weird juxtaposition. You must lead. That's what all of this stuff that we're teaching you here. That's why it's so magical. When YouTube came out, I led. When blogs came out, I led. Now, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that there were people that knew less. When I was selling weight loss, I just went for ladies that were I had lost a bunch of weight, and I went and looked for ladies that were fatter than me, which sounds crazy. I didn't go look for cheerleaders. I went and looked for ladies that were fatter than me, and I found them. And they came flying because I had a great story. So you don't have to be making the kind of money that I'm making today. Go hit L1, go make a couple $100, and then share. Share. I made this is what I did, and this is how I did it, and I used some simple techniques in the done for you campaigns, and this is what happened, and I made $200 this week. Go do it. Stop talking about it. Okay. This is from a marketing standpoint. If I could give you any advice, people always say, what's your one thing? Or every time I'm on somebody's podcast, they say, what's your one thing? The one thing that I have to tell you that is the most important thing is your list comes first. You must build your list. You must nurture it. You must grow it. You must invite to it. I don't care if your blog's not up. You can manually put people into your Aweber, into your autoresponder. You have a little app, you put it on your phone, you type them in with your fingers. I don't care if you haven't integrated your funnelizer and you're having a tech problem. Your list can be built today, in this moment. It should be built every day. Any day that you are not building your list and getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it doesn't have to be 50 and all the numbers you hear, the huge numbers, they come later. I still don't do that many. I'm happy with 5, 6 leads, but I generate them in a very special way, which we're not talking about tonight. They're very, very targeted. But 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever your nut is, whatever you decide. You can't go to bed without building your list. And if you did busy work and you didn't get 5 people on your list, you didn't do any work at all. Your list is everything. Your list will save you when you're sick, when you're tired, when your kids are sick, when you have to go out of town. Your list will save you. And then the last one is content is king. We've been teaching a lot about content here lately. Content on blogs, content on, sharing other people's content, syndicating content. Content is king. Your list will save you in a lurch, in a bad time. You have to go away, you can send out an offer. Your kid comes home and says, I just got accepted to Harvard. You can send out an offer. I need $5,000. I want a trip to France, but I need this. You can create offers, and your list is what will save you and give you the money you need on demand. But content is what will continually, residually feed you leads and people that were out searching the internet that come across you. I have people that find my videos and content from years gone by. And they show up, and I get an email, and they think that I just made the video yesterday. It's from 2002. So it's really important that you guys understand your list needs to be built now, in this moment. Guys, they didn't have capture pages when I started. Autoresponders were new. I started building my list out of the gate. I had to do it manually. That's why I'm so fanatical about it when I watch people that are waiting. And start publishing now. If your blog's not up, publish it over on Facebook. Create a note. If your blog's not up, go publish it on YouTube. If whatever, there's a site called Medium. Publish, 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 publish. Get your content out there. It's real estate. The next thing you know, you own a city. You own a town. You own a space. From day one, list and content. So, guys, here's the solutions that I'm here to tell you are my choices, okay? One of them is something I do personally, and one of them, is what you should be looking at. I'm not going to pull up the site, and Brian said we're not going to do a presentation, all this other stuff. He can push right now into the chat the 10-day test drive. If you're not a member at MLSP now, and if you visited, and if what I shared with you meant anything to you, please trust my 16 years of experience and believe that this works. These are my commissions, and we didn't get paid yet. There's another $13,000 sitting there, so it's $490,000. Hello, just from my marketing system. Just from my marketing system. Now, we are not a business opportunity. When you become a member, if you'd like to be an affiliate, you can find out about these as options. We do not guarantee any income. There is significant effort required. I am not typical. I am in the top 1/10% here. There's only 3 of us that are at this level, and several of them have made more money than me by far. They've been here longer, they made more money. Okay, I've also done some products and different things with the company. I'm just trying to be transparent. But what if you generated an extra $2,000 with your marketing system while you're learning marketing? You got paid to learn, you got paid to help other people, and then you use that to build whatever you were building. What if? So here's the big site. We can give you the 10-day trial. It has a great presentation. One of the reasons why I like this site, and this particular link has a 30-day option, but one of the reasons why I like this site, and I don't have time to pull it out tonight, is it goes through everything we have. It goes through why it's important. It goes through the different revenue streams and how they work. It explains what the tools are. So it's really cool because you can go there and look, and then you can go back. I recommend the 10-day test drive because it's $10. Fork over $10. Check it out, poke around, look, come be with us. If you don't like it, we'll give you your $10 back. Over here, you do have to put up the whole amount for your mastery membership, but you do get 30 days to poke around. So if you need more time, go put the money up front, poke around, you can cancel, get your money back. If you can look around over the weekend, great, go ahead and go get that done. But I'm telling you now, nowhere has what we have. Nowhere has. There's other places that have tools, I'll be frank. There's places that have tools. I've used a lot of them. Some of them are quite good. No one has the community like here. No one has the events like here. And most importantly, the thing I feel strongest about is nobody promotes from within when you move up the ranks here, when you learn, when you perform. We publish you. How would you like your content to get published instead of going out on your blog to go out on the MLSP blog to hundreds of thousands of people. How would you like them to line you up and put you on a webinar like this in front of thousands of people? That's the opportunity here. This is an exposure agent. And that's why it's so, in my opinion, humbly, so much better than everything else that's out there, because nobody else is going to do that for you. Brian and the team really believe, notice how we acknowledged our new leaders at the beginning. We really believe in bringing up people, and it is no coincidence that many of the biggest rock stars in this space have walked these halls. It's no coincidence. You know, and some people come through here and they learn their skills and they go off and into their destiny. Some people like me, I love teaching this stuff. So I kind of, you know, planted a flag over here. You know, the choice is yours. But, you know, that ain't chump change. It's $100 a member, guys, and we usually don't talk about it. But, and again, you got to be a member to even find out about our affiliate program. We're not pushing it because we know what we got, and we have a huge ratio of customer to affiliate. So it's all good. It's not, and again, not an opportunity designed to complement whatever you're marketing. And then the other thing that I highly recommend, since it's mine, I do a mastermind once a month. It's called the Deep Abyss. And it is many of these concepts and ideas. And the Deep Abyss is for if you have been going through the motions, but you're not getting the results, the Deep Abyss is for you. It's a couple of hours a month. If you have been, you know, you can't get yourself in emotion at all. Maybe you're sitting on the sidelines watching and you got some self-image issues or different types of ideas and issues and going on. The Deep Abyss is for you. It's $25, and again, this is one of those things. It's refundable. Come tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night. By the way, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., I'm going to be doing a quick mindset call. We have one every day. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be doing the Deep Abyss. Last month, we had people freaking out, major changes, you know, major topic. I'm not going to tell you what tomorrow night's topic is because I just don't want it leaked. If you got value from tonight, and you have $25, I recommend you come tomorrow night. If you don't like it, refund it, and we'll let you keep all the archives for free. So that's, you know, thousands of dollars worth of audio in there. You can just download them and take them with you. So that's the deal. It is, let me just pull this webinar thingy up. It is a big week for me in my life. It is a transition. It is a time for a tear to roll down my cheek and a time for me to smile and go out and frolic because I get to be a couple again with my husband Larry, and we get to go out. We've completed much of this stage, the work of this stage of our life. Some of you guys are in the Deep Abyss, and I know you're putting some good stuff, so please let people know. And we'll put that in the chat. We'll push the link. If you're not a member, you really need to come look around. You really need to see what's going on here. If you are a member, I double dog dare you. And I'm going to turn on the Q&A in case anybody has a question. I'll turn it on so you can write them in there. I double dog dare you to go out and share it with some people this week. Not because you're going to make a buck. Not because of the commission. Not because of this, that, and the next thing. The reason why I want you to go out and share it is because it changes lives. The reason why I want you to go out and share it is because you will be enhanced, because you will be doing that thing where you're following those that walk before you and leading those that come behind you. The reason why I want you to go out and share it is because there's a mom like me praying for someone like you to come into her life. So I got one question from Tracy. Congratulations, Tracy. You want to know how I stay focused when working at home when there's lots of distractions. Jill, can you come back over for a minute? Or are you doing something? Maybe we'll get her back over in a second. She has headphones on, so I don't even know if she's hearing me. Guys, I set up some, can you come back over for a minute? Or are you doing something? You're smiling and laughing.
I can.
Well, no, then do your thing. It's fine. Things like this, Tracy. I have my daughter sitting across the table. When the kids were little, I gave them a role. I told them this was our family business, and I gave them jobs. Like I would give them like rubber stamps and papers. You know, I'd cut up copy paper that, you know, was messed up, and I would give them things to stamp and fill out. So a lot of times I could have them sit with me, and I say, well, mommy's working. If you're going to be in here, you have to work with me. So I'd keep them doing that. I also, we had a series of hand signals. If I was on the phone, they could come in and give me the signals, or they would write on a pad when they got old enough to let me know what they needed. They knew they were not to interrupt me. I trained the kids. I train the kids just like an employee trains employees. I train them how to behave, but most importantly, I let them know it was our business. So therefore, they were going to reap some of the rewards. So there was always like a trip or something we were working towards. If mommy can get her work done, if you help her, or if you can sit down and do what you're supposed to be doing, we can go to Chuck E. Cheese, which is like a pizza place with characters. She's like yesing. We can go to Chuck E. Cheese on Saturday. I always let them know that there was a reward for their cooperation and behavior. So, and then I did as much as I could when they weren't home, of course, when they were at preschool or whatever. I really sat down and disciplined myself to get stuff done. And then I did a lot when they went to bed. I am not a single mom, so Larry, of course, was extremely integral in helping me get everything done too. But we trained the kids up. Okay, Teresa says, I'm building a list, but there are many on it that never responded to my calls or emails. What do you recommend? When the next project that I do here with MLSP is all going to be about email list management, I have an extremely responsive list, and that's a big topic for me to get into. But for me, the way I build my list is I attract people in such a way that they already know me before they opt in, versus attracting people with kind of a sexy offer and then having to get them to respond to me. Both work, but you have to do large volume. When you're going cold and strangers with kind of like a sexy little offer, then you have to expect that you need a lot more numbers. You really need to get into more volume of either content production or advertising, etc. I kind of do it a little different, where I attract people and get them to know me through content and then invite them to my list, so they're generally much more responsive. And Teresa, again, we could do whole classes on this. I'm hoping to do a whole class coming up soon. A whole seminar on how to write to them, how to position yourself, how to write to them, how to get them to respond. I have a million little tricks on how to get people to engage with you, how to get them to write you back, how to get them to call you. That's the nature of attraction marketing. I generally don't call people, which makes some people mad. They say, I didn't say I don't use the phone. I didn't say I don't talk to people. I generally don't call people. I have techniques that cause them to call me or reach out to me. When they reach out to me on the internet or whatever, then I go, well, hey, let's just jump on the phone. Now I have them on the phone. Very powerful. Samson, yes, it depends on what you're getting. The 10-day test drive, if you're looking at MLSP, has a 10-day guarantee. The big link that I gave you guys, which is myleadsystempro.com, that does have a 30-day guarantee, and the Deep Abyss has a 30-day guarantee as well. So, guys, we're not here to trick you or to slick you. We want you to look around and see the value. Once you see the value, it's a no-brainer. But sometimes you have to get inside to see the value. I can tell. Remember what I said, guys, that you have to if you do what you already know how to do, things would change. Well, you can't do what you don't. In this case, you can't judge it without being in it. That's why we offer the 10-day test drive, the 30-day money-back guarantee. We need you to come inside. We need you to come down to Monday night's new member training with Burt Bledsoe. They're off the hook. They're amazing. We need you to get into our Facebook group and ask a question and see how you get an answer. We need you to come and hang out in the community for you to know that it's good for you. So whether you need 10 days or 30 days, you can choose the offer that's right for you, but that's why we do it. I did not leave traditional MLM for this. It's just kind of what happened was I got pulled into this. People were wanting me, asking me to teach, train, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and I fell in love with it. So I kept my distributorship at my original MLM for many, many, many years. In fact, I recently finally let it go. And made money with them for many years, residual income. But then it just kind of, over 14 years, it just kind of trickles off eventually. So, because I hadn't built it so big that it was like walk away residual. It was good. It lasted for years. And then I did build another MLM. I became the #2 retailer, the #3 recruiter there. And then they merged with another company. I decided that I wanted to do this full time because I could help more people generically. So do I think MLMs are great for building residual income? Absolutely. Do I think that in this day and age that we really need to focus on building our list and our entity and then showing them the MLM instead of running around talking about the MLM? Yeah, I do. I'm a returning member. My Y is solid. Excellent. Hello, Don. I can't be home during the day. Okay, well, most of our stuff is in the evening. We do have one training that's during the day. Everything's recorded, so that's not an issue. Our new member training is in the evening. It depends on what time zone you're in, too, guys. We have people all over the world, but everything's in the back office. And if you follow our training, all you do is log in and hit start here. It will literally walk you right through, so therefore you don't have to pick and choose yourself. It'll walk you right through exactly how to set everything up and what to focus on. And then at the end of the Get Started training, it tells you to pick something to specialize in, and it gives you some suggestions, and you can then go and start specializing in whichever marketing method you'd like to master, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. You know, we have experts in all of them here. And then you can plug into that person's training, go into our library. Guys, our library is worth tens of thousands of dollars because you have training with every top marketer under the sun on every cutting edge thing. I mean, we have Instagram, we have Periscope, we have, you know, Facebook, we have Facebook networking, like my style, we have Facebook advertising, Michelle's style. We have, you know, video, we have everything. Now great blog training as well. Teresa, I'm not sure about that question, so if you try it again, maybe I can give it a whirl. I'm a hands-on grandmother of 2-year-old twins, and her son's between jobs. Okay. So you're taking care of them several days a week. You also have some family members that you're caring for. Okay. And you're overwhelmed and a little confused. Okay, well, welcome, Mildred. Mildred, this is my big suggestion. You want to work with our system campaigns, okay? We have campaigns that are done for you. And I did a training a couple weeks ago. Go in the library and look for this training about the system campaigns or our done for you campaigns that I did. If you can't find it, message me in the Facebook group. That is a simple, simple way to get leads and start introducing them to the different things you're doing now. Guys, you don't have to go. One of the tips I gave you guys should have been, don't take senior classes when you're a freshman. Okay, you guys have to discipline yourselves to sit down and learn the basics. You know, I have people that are trying to build something that I would have never built for years, and still some of the things that people are doing, you know, they're busy building all this stuff that I don't even do, and I make a lot of money. So you got to start with what you can do. If you have an hour a day, our system campaigns and our MLSP campaigns under my websites are the thing for you. You can go post them in Facebook groups. It's literally copy and paste. Now, do I think that's the thing to do for the end game to make a lot of money? No, but remember, I started littering bathrooms. That's all I knew how to do. So do what you know how to do, and then things will change. You'll either get really good at starting to connect with people, or through these different campaigns, and letting the system work for you, or you'll get frustrated and decide you want to do something else. Diana's saying my daughter's going to college next year, but I have nothing saved. How do I fast track my efforts for my why? Diana, I'm just going to be, because you're like a sister, because I'm Diana, you're Diana, I'm just going to be like blunt. Because everybody always says, but what is it? Justin Barkley says, one night I said, tell me things I'm good at and tell me things I'm not good at. Not because I was surveying them. I wanted them to understand that everybody's good at certain things and not good at others. Justin said, I'm not good at subtle. Or maybe that was Jeff. One of my guys said, you're not good at subtle. I'm not good at subtle. You know what your why is? Go look at your kid while she's sleeping in her bed and think about the fact that if you don't get yourself together and get your work on, she's going to be shackled in debt if she wants to go to college. I want you to think about her for you. You just saw my daughter tonight. I want you to think about your daughter 4 or 5 years from now, 6 years from now. I want you to think about her struggling to live, either having to live with you or struggling to get a place and struggling to do anything because she has an $800 to $1,000 a month loan. And then I want you to think about her being 37 and still paying it. Is that what you want for your daughter? And so there you go. Now, can you recoup so many years in 1 year? Probably not. But could you really put that in front of you? Can you really take a picture of her sleeping and you just keep looking at it? Sorry, you know, kids are thinking that's creepy. But you know what? Creeper's a creeper. It's all right. You're her mother. You're allowed to creep. You look at that picture on your phone every single day and you say to myself, if I don't do something, she won't be able to sleep when she's 35. That's there. That's how you fast track your why. Okay. Carmen, I think blogs are the best long-term strategy out there. She's asking if I recommend the blog. I think that a blog is something that you should put up and you should be regularly posting to. We have great training. We also will be, I think, relaunching the 3-Minute Expert course and making it available again. So I think it's your long-term strategy that will give you long-term security. I think that in the short term, you should work with our system campaigns, our different campaigns, and our webinars and our offers if you're promoting us or whatever your company is doing. Do the traditional prospecting, etc., while you build up that blog. And what happens is blogs, content in general, takes on a life of its own. I today still get residual traffic all the time from things I published years ago. So the blog is something that you want to do to be consistent with. And it's just like, you know, saving $1 a day or anything like that. You can save a lot of money if you have that little savings account that you're constantly putting money into. That's what a blog is like, guys. It's very, very valuable. Chad, I think that you need to go see Bert if you haven't been there yet on Monday night. He'll straighten you out. Yvette, first of all, you do have a following on social media. I see you all the time. And second of all, guys, you have she's asking how can I gain credibility when I don't have the following and this and that. That's not that catch-22 that everybody plays. Okay, remember what I said? Follow those that are ahead of you and lead those that are behind you. Okay, there are people all over that don't know a ton of things that you know. I mean, I watch you. I know who you are. First of all, why do I know who you are? Because you know what you're doing. So why don't you start creating content, blog posts, videos, etc., about how you're doing what you're doing? Because you caught my attention. So you obviously know something. Follow those that have walked before you and lead those that walked behind you. Without that big question mark on your forehead saying, I'm not sure, I'm not credible. Guys, anybody's credible. If you don't know how to bake Christmas cookies and I know how to use a mix, right? I'm not a good baker or whatever. If I know how to use a mix and you don't know anything, I'm ahead of you. A good cook would look at me and go, you're insane. Why would you use a mix? Okay. The 10-day test drive. Bri, can you push the 10-day test drive? We'll send you guys at the end too, because they're asking about the 10-day test drive. Wonderful, David. We'll see you at the Deep Abyss. David just got on board with the Deep Abyss. Delisa, this is for beginners, but the beautiful thing about MLSP is we have everything from beginners to very advanced. And that's the beautiful thing, that somebody can start today with our done for you campaigns, our pre-written letters. We've done most of the work for you. Just learn how to put it together, and you could be out generating leads for whatever you're working on. You could be out generating leads and getting sales very quickly. We have people that come in all the time, do it right away. And then we have people that are very advanced. And we have the ability for Facebook retargeting, which I know you're not familiar with, but a lot of people are. All kinds of tools and things. They just added this hooky thing. I don't even know what it is. I got to go look at it. We're always on the cutting edge. So we have both. Okay, let me answer this, and then we're going to wrap it up because it's going to be 10:30. We'll have been on for an hour and a half. And guys, if I didn't get to answer your question, please feel free to hit me up in the MLSP Facebook group or find me on Facebook and ask me a question. Tell me you're on the webinar. I prefer if you're a member to put it in the Facebook group. I think that's just